Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Now, we're going to talk about forgiving what you can't forget. Forgiving what you can't forget. Let's just dive right into this topic. Do you remember that day when you got hurt? Do you remember how it felt? Felt like a knife piercing into your heart? Was that the day of discovery when you found out something that you didn't know before? Or was it a stunning call about an accident? Or did somebody announce they wanted a divorce? Did someone pass away unexpectedly? A breakup? You lost your best friend? Someone said something to you that you can't get over and you can't forget it. Somebody laid hands on you. Somebody neglected you. Somebody manipulated you. Somebody violated you. These are things that people find it hard to forgive. Somebody stole something from you. It's the same hurt. And unfortunately, there are many of us who define our lives from that hurt. You know, it wasn't too long ago where a lady told me that because of being hurt so many times in past relationships, that now she's given up on men, period. And this is a young woman. You see, you gotta forgive the hurt and look at it for what it really is. Now, look at this. Your mind has a lot to do with the way that you receive information. Now, if somebody lays hands on you, that's a different thing. But if somebody intentionally tried to hurt your feelings by saying whatever they said, it's your mind and your perception, whether you took it as a positive, a negative, or neutral. You know, it didn't affect you one way or the other. It's really up to you the way that you accept negative energy. And that's all it is. Negative energy when people hurt you. And some people hurt you intentionally because remember, hurt people hurt other people. Whether it's revenge or whether it's a pattern that they've learned or whatever it is, watch out for hurt people. So ladies, when you meet somebody and they tell you they had a rough childhood, you better tread lightly with that. Tread lightly because that person may be carrying pain and revengeful feelings, grudges for what happened in their childhood or what happened, in their lives, period. And we know that holding a grudge only hurts the person holding the grudge, not the other person. That's why it's so important for you to forgive and move on. Even if you can't forget, I'm not saying forget how you were hurt, and this will prevent you from being hurt in the future. The same way, you might be hurt another way, but in the same way, you won't be hurt in the future. And I'm going to tell you something. After I started my spiritual journey, I don't really get hurt by what people say. And listen, I get negative energies coming at me just like you do. But it doesn't affect me that way. I don't take it personally, because I realize that people are coming from where they're coming from. If they've been hurt in their lives, they're going to want to hurt other people. And there's a lot of people out here that do that. That's intentionally. Now, people can hurt you, and they don't mean to hurt you, but it hurts you deep. For instance, if your partner decides that, they don't really want to be with you anymore, and they decide, well, I think we ought to divorce. And you divorced on harmonious terms, that's a good thing. But if you're hurt by that, you got to forgive it. You got to forgive it. And it's a lot of women out there, when they got divorced, they were so hurt until they shut down. Their lives just shut down. They don't do any of the things they used to do before him. And they have allowed the hurt to change their lives. And not for the better. Can't allow hurt to change you like that. For one, you need to raise your vibration out of that negative energy, because hurt and sadness is a negative energy. And to be able to forgive, raise your frequency. And I did get some pointers on raising your frequency that I don't think that I have talked to you about before. And let me just share this with you. Okay. The first step to raising your frequency is to master the way you think. You know, we talk about that a lot. And I don't know if people realize how serious it is to master the way that you think. If you are a pessimist, you need to flip it and be more optimistic. Now, I am a right brain person, all creativity. But some people are left brain, which is all analytical. Everything with them has to be factual and logical. You know, I am more of a visionary. I'm open, a free spirit, that kind of person. So to raise your consciousness, you need to be logical, but you also need to be flexible. Flexible, okay? Because this is about faith. Now realize that it's your mind that gives the charge, whether it's a positive charge or whether it's a negative charge. So if someone says something to you, it's in your mind how you perceive it, whether you're going to come out of it negative or whether you're going to come out of it positive. Okay? So when people say something to you that could potentially upset you, you know, take a moment. Take a moment before you just react to it. You know, we're used to defending ourselves. There's no reason to defend yourself. Okay? Yeah, there's no reason for it. It doesn't make you feel any better. And usually this turns out to an all-out fight. Both of you go away mad in negative energy. It doesn't make sense. No. Somebody says or comes at you in a negative way, realize that they're carrying that negative energy to you, trying to get you to engage. See, once you realize what's really going on, you won't be so easy to fall into these traps where you get manipulated and violated and things like that. Realize when you see negative energy coming your way. All right. And immediately, you know, especially if you're in a higher frequency, you have a protection, but you also have free will, whether you want to go down deep and be negative with them, defending yourself, arguing back at them, fighting back at them, or whether you just walk away and let it go. And letting it go can be tough, especially if it's according to the violation. Whatever violation they did to you, it can be tough to let it go. And it may take you a little time, but it's in your best interest to let it go and move on with your life. Move forward, move upward with your ascension. Don't allow anyone to drag you back down into negativity. Forgiveness is a major part of your spiritual journey. So any of you who are on your spiritual path, and I hope all of you are, forgiveness. So if anyone is in your life or anyone that has been in your life that has hurt and harmed you, forgive, forgive it, forgive it. Just realize that they were working under a demonic energy. They didn't realize it. They just went with it because they're listening to the ego. And the ego is always in survival, it's competitive, it's defensive. That's the ego. So, that's the energy that wants to attack people to revenge the hurt. That's your ego. You gotta silence that ego. Silence that ego. Come back to yourself. You see? And when you settle down in a peaceful place, your intuition is your guide. Your intuition will give you answers. Your intuition will show you why these people did what they did. Okay? And I tell you, it will make you stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, I want to recommend a book to you. And I've recommended this before. This is a wonderful book. And it's also a #1 New York Times bestseller. All right. This is Forgiving What You Can't Forget. And I won't even try to pronounce her name, but I'll write it. And in the description, I'll leave a link where you can get this book. Now, I want to read back here something that she said. She says, "A dear friend, I understand deeply and personally how hard it is when someone does something unchangeable that also feels unforgivable. I cried countless tears and wrestled through so many questions. What if it feels like forgiveness won't actually fix anything? Does forgiveness mean I have to be in a relationship? No. I'm going to answer some of these questions. No. And forgiveness will fix everything. Is it even possible to forgive if they're not sorry for what they did? You're not forgiving for the other person. You're forgiving for yourself. Forgiveness is for you to grow. If someone has done some infraction to you, you need to forgive it. Okay? Now she goes on to say back here, you deserve to stop suffering because of what other people have done to you. It's a great book. Again, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get this. And just remember, forgiveness is one of the keys to your happiness. You don't want to carry any kind of revengeful spirit or grudgeful spirit. These are evil spirits around for the rest of your life and then think that you are on a spiritual path. No, you have not even begun the path if you're still holding a grudge. If you haven't forgiven some infraction, if you haven't forgiven your daddy leaving you when you was a child, if you haven't forgiven when somebody hurt you physically, you see, you forgive it and go on with your life. It's like a weight has been lifted. And many times when these infractions happen, you carry that. You talk about it over and over and over to anybody that will listen to you. Remember when my daddy wasn't there and he never did this for me, or my mother never did that for me, and my boyfriend, he broke up with me and he went off and things like that. When you keep talking about it, it keeps it alive. Let it go. Forgive it. Just like it never happened. Now, you're going to remember the infraction, but you're not going to have your heart involved in it. Okay? You've let go the ego part of it. You concentrate and focus on your own happiness from that point on. I hope that I've said something that can help someone, and I really hope that you understand the message today. Forgiveness. Forgiving what you can't forget is so important for your own happiness. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next.